Hello, my friends. This is Big Daddy Cash, back on the bridge again. I have a story to tell you today, but before I do, I want to thank you all for the wonderful comments you left on the blogs that I had Connie post. You're all true blue. Anyway, this is one of the stories about my life on the gray side. I have many to tell, but this one will surely capture your attention. I'm going to take you back in my past to the time when drinking opened the door to organized crime. I remember that day well. I woke up in the morning sicker than hell, and I had to shake so bad that I couldn't hold a cup in my hand without spilling its contents. This wasn't unusual, it was almost a daily occurrence. What was different was my clean attire and the clean bed that I woke up in. As I slopped cold water on my face, a vague remembrance of the evening before flashed through my mind. I had met a stranger who for some reason wanted to help me get back on my feet. I felt for sure I was being conned, but he was buying the drink, so I went along with whatever pleased him. I remember that he owned a nightclub somewhere and that he was willing to give me some kind of a job. Other than that, I couldn't remember anything else. My only thought at the time was that I had to get out of this place and find me a drink. What the hell, I most likely would never see this guy again. And if I did, I didn't really give a damn. I headed for the door, and as I reached for the knob, it burst open. There was the stranger, and with him two of the meanest-looking characters I'd ever laid eyes on. My instincts told me that if I wanted to get out of there alive, I'd better strike first and make it count, and then I'd better run like hell. I was about to strike when the stranger stepped forward and said, "Good morning, Cass. I got a job for you, bro." "Job, hell, I don't want a job, and I'm not your brother." "But last night you promised." "Shit, you can't believe anything I say when I'm drunk. You heard me, I don't want a job. Do I have to spell it out for you?" "Come on, Cass, let's go down to the bar and we'll have a drink and we'll talk this whole thing over." Holy shit, that did it. I needed a drink so bad that all caution just flew out the window. "Okay," I said, "let's talk." It has been about 6 months since it took place, and ever since I've been working for John R. The best thing about the job was I never ran out of booze. John set me up in a small suite on the top floor of the Miles Hotel. His bar was on the main floor of the hotel, and his after-hours club was in the basement. My job consisted of doing whatever John asked me, and it became a little flaky at times. Every morning I was to open the bar in the hotel at 10 o'clock, stay until the day bartender got there, which was usually around noon. At night I just had to stick around the club in case there was trouble, and then I was expected to step in and handle it, whatever it took. John knew that I had been in the Special Forces and that I was highly trained in martial arts. I guess in my drunken stupor I must have been pretty mouthy the night that we met. Anyway, it's clear to me now that John wanted to have command over my deadly talent. I really wasn't surprised when I found out that John R. was the big shot in the Italian Mafia. I knew that he had to be involved in the underworld because of his lifestyle, and also because he always had those two mean-looking bodyguards with him. Up until now, I had done a few illegal things to get my badly needed alcohol, but now I'd fallen into the clutches of organized crime. You think my career as a professional alcoholic was bad? The next year and a half as a participant in this organization was a total nightmare. Why I'm alive to tell about this is some kind of a miracle. Guns, knives, prison, they've all brought a climax to the lives of everyone that was involved in this family of crime. Believe it or not, I'm the only one left, and I was the one on a suicide mission. These experiences started a positive change in my attitude, but it would still be a while before I'd stop wallowing in the filth of the gray world, the world of desperation and crime. Whatever the answer is, I was sure getting an education. My life in the gray world took me from one bad place to another. I was trapped in a position with the mafioso family, which once you're a member, you're always a member. And if you try to leave the organization, the contract will be put out on you. And eventually, I did break away from the family, but then that's another story. There are actually 3 mafia families that operate out of Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is considered the hub of the Western USA. The Russian Mafia, the Italian Mafia, and the Chinese Mafia. Anyway, I've written stories about each. And that's about all I have to say for today. I hope I haven't shocked you too bad. Thank you for listening. This is Big Daddy Cash saying so long.